Well, I am so excited today to be interviewing Desiree. She is one of my favorite midwives, actually, in the whole world, and I have met a lot of midwives over the years. So, Desiree, tell us a little bit about yourself and this amazing place that we're in right now.
Thank you. It's a nice compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just have to say before we start that being a midwife is, I think, sometimes way more for me than it is anyone else. It's such a blessing, to be able to be just in the midst of, miracles. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And so it's really sweet to hear when people feel grateful in return. And also, I just think, wow, how did I win this lottery?
Yes.
Super blessed.
Well, and that's kind of the reward when you do good things and you're good to people, which you are. Your reputation, just women love you. The thing is, you're not just kind, you're not just compassionate, but you're trustworthy. And that's why I picked you to talk to about your story, because it's just, I have talked to so many women about you and they're like, I love Desiree. She's my favorite midwife. No one else is allowed to deliver my babies. I remember being a little sad that you didn't get to mine on time. I had a very quick labor, as you remember, and I think you were either on your way or you were coming,
And Susie was here.
Yep, but it was too late. So, but I remember that first appointment, and I was terrified. I had a horrible hospital birth, and a lot of women do have horrible hospital births. Not all, but a lot of them do. And it was traumatizing for me. I remember coming here just really scared. Wait a minute, this looks like a house on the outside, but on the inside, it's really professional and amazing and beautiful. And I feel peace, but I'm afraid to feel peace. I'm afraid to trust. And I told you my story, and I just felt the burden lifted. So I will never forget that day. I remember going home thinking, okay, that Desiree girl, I like her. She made me feel at home, at peace. I can give birth in a peaceful atmosphere. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be afraid. It's not going to be the same birth as I had last time. So I think you're amazing.
Thank you. I remember that day. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so have you always wanted to be a midwife?
No.
It's
funny, actually, because when I was pregnant with my first child, I was young. I was doing my intern year of teaching. And I told the teacher that was my preceptor that I was expecting. And she said, I've had 2 babies. I had one in the hospital and one at home, and the home birth was way better. And I said, people have babies at home?
Yeah.
It just seemed crazy to me. And I grew up in Alaska, and my parents actually were, I think, hippies, absolutely. And we grew up a really natural lifestyle. And so I always have tended toward those things because it was sort of how I was raised. And when I found out that people had babies at home, I thought, well, one thing that the midwife that the teacher actually said was that it's less expensive. And at the time, we were kind of talking about how we were going to pay for this. We didn't expect to get pregnant at the time, and it was not sort of the moment in our lives that we felt like we could easily pay for it. And so she had said it was less expensive, and I thought, well, let's just go interview a midwife. So I looked in the yellow pages back then. This was 27 years ago.
Wow.
And I looked up in the yellow pages and found this midwife by the name of Victoria. We went and interviewed her, and I left that day feeling maybe like you felt when you left my, this room that day, which was that, like, okay, I'm a woman that can give birth. Actually chose something that ended up just being amazing. Like I felt like in my experience from, the beginning till after I gave birth to my daughter on my own steam and with the support of the team that I had chosen, I feel like it absolutely changed my life. And of course it changed my career too, right? So years went by as I trained to be a midwife, and, I think she was, how old was she? 6 when I became a midwife.
Wow.
But it was just really such an amazing process that I feel like I am so thankful that I got to have that first experience having a baby in a way that was really empowering. Because, you were talking about your story of feeling traumatized by your birth. And of course, we love when people don't have to go there, And everybody has their own journey. And it's, hopefully you have a healing experience after it to kind of be able to recover from some of those things. And also they're not in vain, right?
Exactly.
Like there's sometimes from hard things you get
fruit. Yes.
And also, I'm pretty grateful that I got to have a great first birth with my first baby.
Oh, that's so good.
It was hard because birth is, but
yeah,
it was really good too. I was also going to say one thing that I remembered from like that I learned in midwifery school was that, and it's something I can't even quote a study at this point. So, that's a little funny, but I was told that one of the last things that women who have Alzheimer's forget is giving birth. So like they might forget their children before they forget giving birth.
Oh.
And that to me just speaks volumes, because I think if women remember their births, it really means so much to us,
Wow.
And I think it's funny that I would choose over money to interview a midwife. I'm thankful that it wasn't something, that was the opposite, but really it's priceless when you think about what that can mean to a woman.
Yeah.
And the way she can feel honored in birth, and like she really has people around her that are going to do everything they can to support her and, make sure she's safe and all that too, of course, because that's, of course, the most important. But to be satisfied in the end and feel empowered is just, how valuable
it's everything. It's healing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't undo the trauma, all of it, but it does heal.
Yeah.
It does heal. And that's what I experienced in this place was healing.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's good. Well, we know birth is valuable to people, and we really want to keep being able to be that for people. I'm super thankful that people trust us to have that role in their lives.
Yes.
And, we have somebody today that's going to have a baby likely, and we're
so
we're
exciting
from them soon to come in.
I overheard the phone call a little bit, so that's exciting.
Yeah, no, it is really exciting. I'm so thankful to be able to do that work. My business partner, Petra, was working with me in my home birth practice at the time, and she wanted to start a birth center. And I had worked at a birth center for 5 years as one of their staff midwives. And I knew that owner well. She's one of my best friends. And I just thought, oh, that's crazy. I don't want to start a birth center. It's so much work, the administrative side of it all. And I just love doing birth, and prenatal care and all that. So when Petra wanted to start a birth center, I thought, I don't really want to do that part. And so when she and I were sort of talking through it, she would want to one day and I would want to the next day. And we kind of go back and forth. And I'm, of course, oversimplifying it, but basically we both wanted to on the same day. And she said, I'll do the admin part if you'll do the midwifery. And I love midwifery. So that was an easy answer.
How many years ago was this? Well, when
that was 16 years ago.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we opened this 15 years ago, actually yesterday. It was opened, officially licensed.
I was just thinking the birthday had to have been recently. So, wow.
So we ended up, just like it really took off when we did it. We didn't know what would happen, but we got a lot of clients right away. And, it's been here and there in our history of that many years. There have been lots of things that have happened with the Affordable Care Act and insurance and the Oregon Health Plan and all sorts of things that have sort of made it have some better moments and some that were less busy. But it's always been great. And we have really, I feel like we've just been blessed with a really great set of clients, a really great staff. We've just had a really good journey.
Well, I personally know many friends who have given birth here, and not a single one of them has a negative review about this place. They all just love it. They love the staff. They love the atmosphere. I mean, look around. It's so beautiful. You just walk in and you just feel peace.
It's so different.
I know, it's different. It doesn't have that sterile vibe, which I really like.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I think, the people who work here, like one day someone asked me, it was one of the dads, asked me, how do you hire such great people? And I'm like, it's amazing, isn't it? Just that all these people ended up wanting to be here. But I think the job is so amazing also being able to serve in this way that people really love it. And when people really love what they do, then, of course, clients feel that. And it just is a really good circle the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love midwifery. I think it's amazing. There's a lot of really good doctors out there too, and I've had them over the years. But again, I love that women have the option that if they want to go down this route, that they can.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Bella Vie. So this is Bella Vie Birth Center. I guess I did not say that at the very beginning. It's amazing. They have water birth tubs. There's actually one behind here. It's amazing. And it kind of feels like a spa, actually. You walk in and it feels like a spa. You don't just do births here though, right? You do women checkups and that kind of thing, right?
We're actually adding more services as we learn sort of what the community needs. We've been adding more things. We have in the last couple of years added woman care to include peri and postmenopause care.
Oh, really? Wow.
We also are now doing something called the O shot. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I haven't.
It's a little edgy, crazy. Are you ready for me to say
I
it?
am so curious, and I'm sure my audience is curious too.
All right. So the O shot is what is referred to as PRP. It's platelet-rich plasma, where we draw your blood and we centrifuge it. We have a really high-grade centrifuge that concentrates the plasma about 5 to 6 times more than a typical centrifuge that's used for a lab.
Yeah.
And with that, we actually numb you up. People don't feel pain from it. And we inject that platelet-rich plasma into your clitoris and G-spot.
Really?
And what it does is actually it really helps women who are in peri and postmenopause with things like vaginal discomforts that come with that stage of life.
Interesting.
Vaginal dryness, vaginal pain with sex, or pain in general.
Oh, wow.
Repeated bladder infections.
Yeah.
Bladders leaking. So like if people have...
Which is really common as a mom.
It is really common. Yep. So it's really good at that. And it helps about 85% of women.
Really?
And so it doesn't have a risk to it really. You know, there's extremely minimal risk. And
okay, I'm going to have to research it after this.
Natural, your own blood to do it. So we have done that. And, perimenopause, the average woman will enter perimenopause around age 37 and start having symptoms. Maybe they don't notice right away, but when you educate people on it, then they can kind of start tracking a little bit better. Yeah. And trying to do things to help them have sort of a healthier and happier, more comfortable menopause by knowing earlier and being able to, if things start if you start noticing symptoms, I should say, then, trying to deal with them before they're a big problem.
Wow.
Means that you can maybe have a more comfortable journey. So that's one of the things that we do now. And
that is amazing. Wow. You guys have changed a little bit since, not too much.
Yeah,
but
we still do birth.
Still do birth.
We always, for a long time, we just stuck with birth because we wanted to make sure that we were just focused on the thing that we do. But we also feel really, after all these years, really confident and ready to take on more. And so that, and the next thing we're going to be doing, and not many people know this yet, but the next thing we're going to be doing is adding a lactation and tongue-tie clinic. So,
no way. Okay, that is amazing. That is going to be so useful.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Part of the reason that we're doing it is because we have a lot of in-network contracts. So we have agreements with about 15 different insurance plans. And with that, we can then bill for tongue-tie revisions in a different way that makes it less of a burden for a family to pay for it than some providers that they go to.
Yeah.
Go to dentists, babies don't frequently have dental insurance or it doesn't cover or, something along those lines.
So that is so perfect.
Trying to provide in a way that we already have the structure set up for.
That would be amazing. Would it be here or would it just be a joined facility somewhere?
We're actually still trying to make a decision on that. We're not.
Oh, okay.
We have hired one of the lactation consultants. She's an RN, IBCLC, and
that is so exciting.
Clients, and we're just starting there for now and building to the point where we're gonna. We may have a place in Salem to do it, and we may do it here for a while.
That is exciting. Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It has been really great talking to you guys. This is Desiree, and this place is amazing. You are amazing, and everyone needs to look this place up and read about everything she said because she is a great expert.
Thank you. We just got a new facelift on our website.
Oh,
if anybody wants to check it out, it's check it out. It's www.gentlebirthcenter.com.
Okay. Yes, I am going to go there after this too because I actually haven't been to your website in like probably a decade. Yeah. It's been a while.
It's pretty different.
All right. Desiree, everyone.
Thank you. Nice to see you.